No one dreams of being absent from their kids. You're a man and you can make mistakes, but you also can be imperfect and be the best father you want to be. When I think about my daughter and my son, I really want them to know that being Black is a gift, because I have kids who've entered our practice who thought that being Black was a curse.
Welcome to Unmuted, everyone. Joining me today is Dr. Charles Daniels, the CEO and co-founder of Fathers Uplift, has made it his mission to provide mental health counseling and coaching so that fathers can be there for their children. You know, you've centered your work around fatherhood. Why was that so important to you?
What we've noticed about father absence, and this is a real issue in communities of colors and communities nationally, when kids do not have an explanation about where their father is, they end up blaming themselves for their father's absence. I too was once that kid who blamed myself for my father's absence. He wasn't absent because he didn't care about me. He was absent because he needed help. So we wanted to make sure that we have created an organization to give dads like my own father the help that they willingly deserve.
We know that parenting and being a father can be overwhelming. What do you say to people about how important it is to sort of look at their past traumas and deal with them so that they can move forward?
We have to be open to understanding why fathers are absent as opposed to judging them for being absent, because the reason matters. A lot of our fathers have issues with child welfare cases where they're not being able to see their kids. A lot of our dads have child support issues, homelessness, housing issues, incarceration. I mean, you know how hard it is to get a job after you're released from incarceration? Our dads need help. And we're dealing with a system where racism is embedded in the structures of their community and where they are. That leads to ongoing depression. It leads to sustained anxiety. And to be honest with you, there's men who will give up because they just can't deal with it. Depression will take hold of them. We can't change these systems by ourselves, but we can support you with how you respond to them. We asked them this question from Dr. Brene Brown. We said, who's the author of your story? You say, I am. That means that you write your own ending. And we encourage them to really look at how far they've come as well.
You know, I have a lot of brothers and cousins, and I find that many times they come to the women in their lives to talk about their issues, their wives, their mothers, their sisters. And I'm always encouraging them, why don't you talk to each other? So many of these experiences are lived, and that community is just so crucial.
Can you imagine a bunch of men of color sitting in a group with you who most likely don't have their kids either, telling you that, hey, you know, we're going to get through this together? Our population is all about trust. And if you gain the trust of a Black man, he will show you how vulnerable he can be. Community and having a village is so important to men of color.
You mentioned you're a father as well. I just want to know your fatherhood philosophy.
When I think about my daughter and my son, I really want them to know it's okay to fail. It's okay to fall. I don't want my kids to be perfect. I want them to embrace their imperfections. And I want to know that they're loved despite the color of their skin, by their family and also by people in the world. Dads out there, if your kid is your goal, keep fighting. There's millions of other dads out there who are fighting with you to be the dads they've always wanted to be.
I want to thank you again for joining us today and for the work that you're doing with Fathers Uplift. It is so important.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate this opportunity to speak with you.